All right, good day, folks. Today's episode of Backyard Grilling with Walter, we're going to make ourselves a 10-pound pork belly. Oh man, it's going to be bursting with flavor. We're going to cook it low and slow until it reaches about 200 degrees and that fat renders down. We're going to probably, when it's done, kind of pull it apart like pulled pork, put it on some sandwiches and just eat it, right? Feel that cholesterol building up inside you. Hate to say it, pork belly is not good for you, but it's one of the best, in my opinion, for smoking on a smoker. Oh, it's so good. So without further ado, let's get started and make this pork belly. Oh yeah. All right, here we have our 10-pound pork belly. I've got it set out for about 10-15 minutes. I rinsed it off to get all the blood and juices that were on it from when it was packaged. Take a paper towel, just kind of wipe it off. We're gonna season this bad boy up using some Kinder's brown sugar. All right, so when you season these, right, be very, very lenient with your seasoning, meaning don't worry that you're over seasoning it. You want to get a lot of seasoning on here. You want to be packed full of flavor. Nobody ever said barbecuing was cheap. When it comes to your seasonings, you're going to go through it pretty quick, all right? So get it all up on here really, really good. Pat it in. Kind of push it down. Some people like to use a binder. I know some folks use mustard, right? Not a big mustard fan when it comes to meats. I know it kind of cooks off the flavor. You don't really taste it, but it's not really my thing. So maybe it is for you. You can try it out. Barbecue sauce is another good little binder, believe it or not. But you don't want to use a lot of it, just a little bit, just to kind of get it sticky. But I like to push the flavor right into the meat just with the seasoning alone. All right. So with these pork bellies, big old fat cap right on the back. I went ahead and scored these into 1-inch squares. I started off using a paring knife. It's a little small for my hand, so I went to a little bit bigger of a blade, a utility knife. Just make sure it's sharp. Cut it across, front to back, and then sideways. And we'll do the same thing on this side. Fat takes on a lot of flavor. All right. So get really good up in here. All right. There's going to be a cleanup. I'm getting stuff all over my countertop. My wife's going to say something probably, but I'm going to get it cleaned up before she even knows it happened. All right. So work it into it. All right. Get it all up and down inside those little grooves. Okay. Not really caring about what's really on top, but work it down inside. As you can see here, it is getting inside of it. Work it down into those grooves. That way, as the fat renders down and the juices pool, it'll absorb all that flavor from the seasoning. All right, using the Kinder's brown sugar. Good stuff. All right, hands are really nasty, but we're barbecuing. Have a drink. Okay. Let's get this smoker warmed up to 225 degrees outside. I'm gonna let this sit for about 25 minutes or so, as long as it takes for that grill to heat up and stabilize at 225. We'll put her in there and we'll continue on. All right. All right, the time has come. Smoker's heated up 225 degrees. All right, we let it settle out because it'll fluctuate a little bit. Let's put this bad boy in here. All right, so what I did is I moved this shelf right here to about the mid-level, so my heat comes out right here in the middle, so I don't want it directly on the bottom. All right, so here comes the fun part. Try to get this 10-pound bad boy inside. Let's see if I can do it without messing up. So all my videos are live. Let's see what happens. I think I'm gonna be all right though. Okay, so here we got this huge chunk of meat. Put it right down in the middle. All right. If you have a water pan, you can use a water pan. I'm not gonna use a water pan today. So meat in general, I found out, usually raises about 40 degrees per hour when I'm cooking on this bad boy at 225. So we want to get it to about 160, 170, somewhere in there, get that color that we like. So I'm guessing 40 degrees an hour. Right now it's at about 55 degrees when I last checked it using my little Instaread thermometer. 4 hours. 4.5 hours, right, to get to about 160. So we're gonna let her sit. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna open it, right? And let's just wait, right? It's football today. It's Sunday for me. So I'm gonna watch some football, have a couple beers, eat some nachos, and we'll come back and see how she looks. Okay, so it's been on here for 3 hours. I want to check it out because, like I always say, you gotta cook for time, not temp. So that 4 hours, 4.5 or whatever, that's just a rough guess. Let's see how this bad boy is doing. First time opening it up, I don't even know what it looks like. Oh man, that looks so good. All right, so a little instant read thermometer. Let's see what we got here. Shove it in there, nice and good. I don't know if you can see that, but 154. All right, 153. It's dropping down. Let's check the other side. You want to poke it all around. All right, so this side over here is reading 162. Let's see what the middle is reading here. Middle right now, I'm at 159. So what I'm gonna do, since this side of it seems to be cooking a little bit hotter, easy decision. Move this bad boy over. All right, close her up, let it sit. Come back at the 4 hour mark. I'll probe it again. I want to get about 160, I don't know, 170, somewhere in there. And it's already got the color I like. And then we'll wrap it up and continue on to 203 degrees where that fat renders down and becomes all nice and juicy. All right. I switched to margarita, by the way. Cheers. All right, so I just took this bad boy off the smoker. Been on there for 4 hours. This is what it should look like, all right? So now for the next step, take it back over here. We're gonna put it in a pan. So I just realized, hold on 1 second, I am out of aluminum foil. It's all right though, you don't have to wrap it all the time, all right? So take this bad boy off. We're gonna put it inside of a pan. You can use an aluminum foil pan. I've got a nice pan right here that I'm gonna use. This is what we're gonna do, all right? Brown sugar, sprinkle it all over the top, all right? Nice and clumped up, okay? So as you can see, nice and good. Spread it around. Don't worry about your hands. We're gonna wash our hands after the fact, all right? Get it nice and good, all good and even, all right? Probably gonna use about 1.5 cups, maybe 2 cups worth, give or take. Just make sure it's covered up, all right? Take some fresh honey, right? Go right over the top of it. Nice, good lines back and forth, back and forth. All right, and that's it. Just so you can see here how it looks. All right, in the pan. We're gonna leave it just like this. I'm gonna throw it back in the smoker. We're gonna get to 203 degrees. That's when the fat will render down. All the juiciness will be there. It'll be nice and tender. We can make it into almost like a pulled pork. Just falls apart in our mouths. Put it on sandwiches. Do whatever you want with it. Good stuff. All right. So throw it back on the smoker. We'll come back. Undetermined amount of time. We just gotta probe it until it gets to 203. And we'll take it off and I'll show you what it looks like. All right. So, like always, gotta keep drinking Bud Light while you're barbecuing. All right. Yeah, I had a margarita earlier. The wife had one. Good times watching the football game. My team's winning. Kansas City Chiefs. That's where I'm from. Born and raised. All right. Let's continue on. Okay, folks. So it took about 1 hour to 1.5 hours to get it up to 203 degrees. I already pulled it off. So let me show you the finished product right here. Absolute goodness. It's kind of hard to see. There we go. Oh yeah. So good. All right. So I just want to show you real quick. So what I like to do is take your knife, make this quick, all right? You already got it cut up into 1-inch squares. Cut it. Yeah. Pull this off.
Try it.
Hold on 1 second here. So you folks can see it. My wife wants to try a little piece here. what I like to do is take a chunk of it, throw it on some wheat bread, a little bit of Duke's mayonnaise, and just make a sandwich out of it, just and devour it. All right. So took 5.5 hours to start. All right. Started at 10:30. Is now just now hitting about 5 o'clock. So 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4.5, 5 hours. Enjoy. Backyard grilling with Walter. This is my lovely wife Jessica. How you doing? Enjoy. It's all about the family and the feast. All right. Mwah. Okay.